Hello. S- Uh, hello. Bear with me first. I don't know if you can hear me, but something is wrong with my. Hold on. We may bear with. Hello. Wait. Can you guys hear me? Wait. Hello. Oh, yes. Thank you, Yaneli. Yes, you can. Okay. So something is wrong. I think I'm going through my board right now rather than my screen. Hello. Hello. Bear with me for a second. I'm here. I'm ready to go, but I may have to reboot my computer because something is stuck on. Okay, okay, so this may be I might lose you for hello. I'll do all the official hellos and everything in a moment, but bear with me. I might lose you for a minute because I may have to reboot. Like my computer is frozen. Right now we're just going through the whiteboard, so to speak. All right, I apologize. Hold on a second. I don't know what's Are you there now? Hello, can you hear me now? I'm totally confused. Yes. Okay, great. And thank you. All right. And did I lose you? Okay. That is good. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with. Oh, you can. Okay. And good afternoon. Awesome. Okay. Ah, thank you. All right. Sorry. I don't know what that all was. Hello, Gabriella. Good morning. Hello. Awesome. Okay. And I'm going to look in the chat. So I guess this was still so thank you, Karen. Thank you, Genesis. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Alfred. Thank you, Kaya. Thank you, Roger. And good morning to all. I'm still catching up. I think we're all together now. Let me just see. Did I lose anything in the chat? Yes, you can hear. All right. Oh, and hello. Yes. Okay, and hello, Karen. Hello, Alfred. Good afternoon, Emanuela. Good afternoon, Brian. Okay, so we're all here. We're good now. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. And thank you, Andre. And thank you for being so early, Andre. I saw you before. Awesome. Thank you. Good afternoon, Sydney. Okay. Now we're happening. Okay, 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 okay. So, well, uh, bookkeeping and then to physics. So, today I want to discuss homework three, train of thought. I want to start discussing homework three, train of thought. Train of thought is a bit of a pivot. I mean, it seems like a left turn. Like it seems like we're starting to finally build equations in homework two, and then all of a sudden we're doing all this conceptual stuff in homework three. I do recognize that. And by the time we finish our discussion of homework three, you'll hopefully see why we are doing it. Um, Hopefully also if you made an attempt and you did it properly and you did it on time, thoroughly, you got all the points for it because there aren't necessarily a lot of the aspects of homework three aren't necessarily right or wrong answers. It's meant to be a discussion, which we're going to have today, but then the discussion leads to a conclusion that we need for the rest of physics. So it's not just a random exercise. Then homework four, I'm sure many of you noticed homework four starts getting hard. I mean, just note the progression. Homework one, for a lot of people, was pretty straightforward, maybe until they got to the last couple of questions, but then it still wasn't crazy. Then homework two still seemed like you could do straightforwardly, even if we didn't discuss stuff in class beforehand. But then it was possible in the last couple, even if it seemed straightforward, that maybe some people got wrong answers. That was homework two. Now, homework three seems like all of a sudden the left turn over here. And homework four, for many people, homework four seems like, whoa, now it's starting to seem more and more like physics, or for a lot of people, not everybody. But for homework four, you might be like, wait, we really haven't even discussed this at all yet in class. Like, am I really supposed to try and figure this out on my own? Yes, you are. Like, by the time we get to homework four, like, yes, I'm really asking you, I'm not asking you to make up things on your own. I'm not asking you to know things on your own. I'm still claiming that the way physics works is like, all you should need to know to try to do homework four is whatever we've established from homeworks one and two, and whatever it says in the sheets of homework four. Again, just so you get, but yes, the homeworks are going to start getting harder and harder for sure. Um, you're still allowed to go anywhere on the web you want to get more information. If you not to get well to get more understanding, you're allowed to talk to one another for sure and help each other. Please do, but it's still assumed that you don't need anything from the outside. It's always assumed that if I'm asking you to do a homework, you're trying to do it first on your own because I'm believing that physics builds like it's a logical building from whatever we already have figured out to the next thing we're trying to figure out. So don't think you're missing something if homework four starts to seem hard and you're like anxious to hear what the story is and what the answers are. You're not alone. You're not crazy. Don't be mad. But yes, it'll feel more and more like you're being asked to figure things out on your own, and then we come and review them. Again, I know I keep saying this, but again, that's why, as long as you hand in a first draft for a homework on time for when it's due, as long as you make a thorough attempt using the 5-step method to do a first draft on homework when it's due, then you, no matter how many points you don't get, or no matter how much you don't understand on it until we start talking about it, you'll always have an opportunity to get all the remaining points as long as you hand the first draft in on time. We're now at the point in the year, though, now from here on, if a first draft doesn't come in when it's due, then you still hand it in. You'll still get a bunch of points. Absolutely better late than never, by a long shot. But it's now at the point where if a first draft doesn't come in when it's due, then there's like a cap on how many points you could possibly get, just to be clear on that. Um, but as long as you understand that making a try on your own is the goal, then it'll all work out in the wash. So I want everybody to get in the habit of recognizing, yes, you are asked to think about things, then we discuss. That is the way of physics. Please just help yourself get used to that. Having said all that, we now need to start going over homework 3. We're not going to finish it this class. So it's going to be a little while before we even get to homework 4. So you're going to have a little bit of break. We are going to catch up. I don't want to be I don't want you to be way ahead of me. So, in fact, I'm going to look really quickly right now. When did I say that homework 5 was due? Homework 5 should not be due this Wednesday. You should have nothing new for this Wednesday. You should have chance to catch up with stuff and hand in old revisions. So maybe I'm looking right now myself, but could you let me know in the chat? Wait. Oh yeah, so it's not due till next week. Right. So you have time to catch up. Um you have time to catch up, right? And that's as it should be. And I have time to catch up to you. I'm just checking why I say that. Yeah. Okay. 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 So hopefully that's clear. So we're going to take a few days to start. So homework 3 is what we're about to start talking about right now. We won't finish it today. Then we'll get to homework 4, etc. Is there anything else I want? So we're going to do that. Is there any, chat. Homework 4. I think technically, to be honest, I think homework 4 was due today. No, wait, let me check it out. I thought it was actually due today. Oh, no, you're right. Oh God, I did something different in the 2 classes. I apologize. Um, you're right. Homework 4 is due Wednesday. So wait, how? No, Brandon, absolutely good. I'm getting myself confused because apparently so homework 4 is due this Wednesday, and that's fine. You you should make a first valiant attempt at homework 4 for this. And if you already did it for today, you got a bunch of points already for doing that. And again, and that's how it works. Like, I don't think most people, homework 4 is now hard enough that it's very possible to turn it in and do a lot and not get it all right or not get it all finished right away. So you wouldn't, on your first draft, you wouldn't necessarily get all the points. But if you already got sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So yes, you're right. Homework 4 is due Wednesday, and that's fine. Then what I'm trying to say is, trust me, homework 5 will not be due on Monday. It isn't due on Monday. We'll have time to catch up with ourselves. And even if I need to make an extension, I will. But you're right. Homework 4 is due Wednesday. Going back to, is that, okay, I'm looking in the chat. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. It said 19. It says Wednesday. Right. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. If I was saying today, you're right. So I apologize. I think the 2 classes I did something different. So no, so if the homework 4 is not in today, you're not late at all. Right. It's due Wednesday. You're correct. And in fact, if someone could confirm that I'm hearing what you're saying, it's due. So as long as you make a valiant attempt. So what I'm trying to say is, even if I don't say anything about homework 4 today, like even if I don't give you more equations or anything, everything you need to do homework 4 is based on what we've done already or what's in the sheet. So you should be able to do a big chunk of it. You should be able to do the 5-step method and work your way through. And even if you don't get all the right answers or all the things, you'll get a bunch of points. And some people already did it. You get a bunch of points right away. If you get points right away the moment it's due, that's a way of saying, even if I don't give you feedback yet, that's a way of saying, acknowledging you're on time. You just turned it in. You're good. So now for the rest of the points, either I'm going to give you more feedback or I'm going to say things in class, or you're already going to realize what's already missing and you'll get the rest of the points because your first draft was on time. Am I making, just let me stop for a second because I'm getting are we clear? Did I address this? Like Brandon, Alfred, Gabriella, Karen, are we on the same page or am I still confusing? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Great. Okay. Awesome. So now what are we going to do? Now we're going to start talking about homework 4. Oh, awesome. A lot of video today. Awesome. Thank you, Joran. Thank you, Emanuela. Thank you, Gabriella. Awesome. What we're going to do now is split into breakout rooms. I'm going to give you instructions right now in the chat. Hold on a second. I should have. Okay. So what I just put in the chat are the instructions of what, when I put you in a moment into random breakout rooms, breakout rooms, groups of three. You're going to go into your breakout rooms. First, you're just going to like share your answers from homework 4. Like who said yeah to the basic question, are you moving? Right? The fundamental question to uh homework 4 is like, are you moving? So I just quick discussion in your sorry, I'm back up. First, make sure to appoint a secretary slash reporter. I mean, that could be two different people, but I want you to know that when we come back to the main room after about being in breakout rooms for about 20 minutes or so, when we come back into the main room, I'm going to want to hear from a representative of each of the breakout rooms. It's not to put anybody on the spot. Like I'd rather you like be volunteering, but I want you to know that someone's going to report to the rest of the larger group. So first of all, assign who that's going to be. And it could be more than one if you want, but I'm saying it has to be at least one. So figure out who that's going to be, and they're going to come and they're trying to collect and then report on the following information. Number one, how many votes for yes, the train is moving, or no, the train is not moving, or other, like any of the other three options of too much, not enough information, yes and no, whatever. So find out in your group who said train's moving, who said the train's not moving, who said can't be answered definitively like that. Then I want you to and then discuss like for a bit, like if debate, discuss like why or why not did you say the train was moving? Then find out whoever changed their mind, not, yeah, like changed their mind on the motion. Specifically, I mean, when they were doing their homework, like you notice at the beginning of all of this, it asks, are you moving? Are you not moving? But then things happen, like the white lights come into the scenario. You start seeing white lights, and you want to find out, like in your group, did anybody ever change their answer once the white lights came in or once anything came in? Did anybody's answer evolve through the packet, or find out whose answers evolved or just stayed the same throughout, and discuss the reasoning behind that? So basically, one person's going to come back to the main group and basically report on the, we had 2 votes for yes, it's moving, 1 vote for no. This is what we kind of disagreed upon, this issue. Then, like, once we thought about the white lights, it turned out that all 3 of us were saying it was moving, or all 3 of us were saying it was not moving. And here's why. Here's the difference that we ultimately thought the white lights made. And you could say something like, now, so that's basically what our group said, but there was one point that our group never came to agreement on. Like we were always stuck, like this one person always said the white lights just literally don't make any difference. And this other person said they do for this reason. And so you're just reporting, right? You don't have to resolve all of it for me or for the, but you're going to report to the main group. So in a, just raise your electronic hands if this is clear. What, and so we're going to do this for like 20 minutes. You'll be in the great rooms for like, great. Thank you, Brian. Awesome. And thank you, Samantha. Awesome. Sydney. Thank you. Kaya, Karen. Thank you. Ariana, Joran, Samantha, Matthew. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So we'll be in the breakout rooms for like 20 minutes. I, I'm good, and I'll still be here back and forth, and then we'll all come together. All right, so bear with me. Here come the breakout rooms, but please, what in the other class they somehow neglected. Please just first off right away decide like, all right, I'm willing to take notes on this, and I'll report to the larger group, or whatever. If or I'm going to take notes, but she's going to report to the larger group. So I'll whatever. But make sure you know that so that when we come back to the large group, we don't want crickets. Like everybody will step up from the group. Okay, so here comes the breakout rooms. Sorry. Okay, so when your breakout rooms are open, please go to them. And so, Andre, please go to a breakout room when you get a chance. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. Welcome back. Thank you for showing video. Those of you who are welcome back. All right, awesome. Hopefully that I'm looking at the chat. Okay. So you're gonna take it from me. So again, today we're largely like reporting on what we said or what we thought. If there's any debate or disagreement in the rooms, that's great. That's fine. Maybe this is about disagreement or debate in a way. And if we end up having any debate right here, that's fine too. Again, just to promise you, this is going somewhere. Like this all is heading toward an actual point that we need in physics. And in fact, the point is summarized right here on the board. But I'm going to explain that point largely Wednesday. Like today, we're just getting it out there. So I'm going to ask, let's just go in order, like breakout room number one. If who, I don't know who you were, if the representative from breakout one could just share and care with the group right now, that would be great.
Okay. So wait, what would you like to know? How many people said what?
Yeah, for ideally, I'd love to know how many people said what, right? And then how many people ever changed their mind? And then anything you want to, that's the main thing. Yeah. And then anything you want to report to me about any reasons anybody gave or anywhere anybody disagreed in your room would be ideal to know. But yeah, basically how many people said what and how many people changed their mind. Yeah.
Okay, so for the most part, a lot of the answers were split. Like there were a lot of um so like two people would say no and then the other two one would say yes or neither. So it was a lot of like different answers. I think the only question that everybody agreed on um was 2M. 2M was about at this moment, are the lights getting closer to you? And everybody said neither. No, sorry. Everybody said no. So I think that's the only thing that everybody agreed on. Um, everybody had their reasonings. I think one person did change their mind, but they changed their mind before we got the data. So there was not really like anybody changed their mind on their answers. Um, Yeah, I think the one thing that we discussed was one B, one E actually. Let me see. It says defend your answer to the very first question. So we discussed that a little. I personally said that for one B, I said that there was not enough information to say whether or not I'm moving. And somebody could counter that and simply say yes or no. They could say yes because sometimes you could be in a moving train or bus. It wouldn't move, but that does not mean that you're not moving. And somebody could say no because there's just not enough information at all. So it's not that there's not enough information, but there are no signs to pinpoint or confirm that there's motion. So they could just say no. Um, yeah. And then I think that's pretty much like the summary. But in overall, that we're very split on certain things. And it's like every answer, every answer, if I said yes and somebody else said no, um, my reasoning for what somebody might say to counter my arguments would be their reason as to why they chose what they chose. That makes sense. But yeah,
Wait,
that's
that's
about
very
it.
interesting. Wait, so I think that's really interesting. Could you say that last part again? I'm not sure I totally, every time someone would say their reasoning for like yes or something, then what would happen?
So like if I said yes and you said no, so you see how in the homework um for like two oh I think it would say like provide an argument or explanation as to why somebody might disagree with your answer. So if I said yes and somebody else said no, the reason why they said no will be my answer to why somebody might disagree with me. Like that's what I was trying to say.
Oh, that's very cool. All right, wait a sec. Okay, I think I get that. So first of all, very good summary in general, very clear. I appreciate it. Clearly, you guys did real work in there. Thank you. Um, um, the two big points I got out of that. One, I think you said in the middle that the only thing that everybody agreed on, it sounds like, was that the white. Actually, let me back up for a second. First of all, I got the impression some people did change. Some people did change answers before the discussion, like at some point when more data came in the sheets, such as white lights.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think you said the only thing that everybody agreed on was that the white lights are not getting closer to you. Is that correct that you said
Yeah,
that? Okay,
yes, that's
that's
correct.
all right. That's super interesting. Number one, super interesting. Number, by the way, anybody who's like stepping up today and being a reporter like this, definitely submit for points. I mean, this is great. It's such a refreshing break for us to be hearing somebody like other than me for a while. So I will shut up again in a second. But all right, so number one, only thing people agreed on was that the white lights are not getting closer to me. So that's interesting. That I think that in the other groups, when you come to report, I'd love to hear about that too, even if you weren't planning to talk about it. Like if you have anything to say about the white lights and whether they're getting closer to you, I'm interested if that was like a universal trend or not. So that's number one. And then number two, very interesting. Yes, Emanuela was asked to sort of say it twice because it's a very unusual point, but I think I get it that she said that she found that when people would disagree in her group, when they would disagree, and then they would discuss the reasoning for disagreeing, often the reason that one person would think something different, like the reason that person A might think something opposite to person B was the very reasoning that person B would write down during the homework, like would predict this is why someone might disagree with my answer. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
do I have that right, Emanuela?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's super cool. Do I know exactly what that means? No, I don't know exactly what that means, but it seems to me one thing it suggests is that if there's debate or disagreement about this, or if it's possible to see this more than one way, it seems like we're, even those of us who are disagreeing about various questions here, we're like on the same page as to what the issue is, right? I mean, I kind of like that. Like, it means like even when I sit here and I think the answer is yes, I'm moving. But how could possibly somebody think that I'm not moving? Well, I mean, what they could think is blah, 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 blah. And it turns out that's exactly what my friend or my colleague in my group thought, the exact thing that I was just thinking. Well, I mean, if you were going to disagree with me, you would disagree this way. So it sort of does seem to suggest that we're all, even if we have different opinions, we're sharing the same concept of what the debatable piece of this is, why you would go two ways on it. That's very, I don't think I've actually never heard someone say that. So that's very, it also probably means that you were being responsible when you did your homework, when you tried to predict what someone else would say. It sounds like people were being very actually careful about it. But so that's great. All right, I'm just going to table that. Thank you very much, Emanuela. That was totally helpful. Let's go, and we're going to circle back. Obviously, I'm going to try to put these ideas together, but let's go to group two, please, or breakout room two. So breakout room two. So you were asked to have a representative in mind, like you were asked to be ready to go with somebody. So someone wants to step up now, like maybe scramble in the background with direct chat or something, but someone needs to step. I mean, I'll give you a moment. I'll go to group three and then come back. But each group needs to be ready with someone. And look, I think it was great what Emanuela just did, and she should get points. But don't be intimidated. Like you don't have to sound exactly like you could do it differently from the way Emanuela just did it. But each group wants to represent a little bit and just give us a sense of what happened in your room. So I'll give group, so breakout two room, anybody? All right, I'm going to come back to you, breakout room two. I think you should direct chat or Discord in the background and figure out what's. So, breakout room three, is there somebody ready to go in breakout room three?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Karen. Save the ship. It was about to get super awkward in here. Thank you, Karen. All right, go for it. Okay.
So for breakout number two, it was just two of us. It was me and my other colleague.
Oh, yeah.
So
Sorry.
we
I don't know. By the way, my apologies. That is awkward. I don't know why that happened. Sorry. But all right, go on.
it was a little bit awkward, but I guess it was just more of like straightforward of like, okay, we got to hear each other clearly on our
Okay.
opinions and differences.
Okay. Good.
So throughout the whole process, we both agreed on multiple things. The only exception was when we got more information is where we both clashed as to whether or not the train was moving. Um, I believe we both settled on that we were eventually moving, like towards the end, once we found out that the light was moving, like we saw the light flicker. Um, yeah, that was basically it. Sorry, because it was really like we both got the same answers all throughout.
You did. Okay. No, I appreciate your honesty. And yes, it's weird. I mean, just on a side note, I don't know somehow how the computer generated one breakout room of two and one of four. I don't know why, and I didn't notice that until it was too late. So yes, you have a slightly more intense job, and there's just two of you in there. So thank you for stepping up. And you're suggesting, okay, so a couple of things you're suggesting. With two people in there, mostly your answers were mostly the same. It sounds like you're saying. Is that true? Did I get?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we were both the same. We only switched our answers when it came to 1B, where I switched my answer from if we were moving, I switched from no because it was very direct over the fact that we just simply were not moving. But he said that there was not information, and there's where I switched my answer, like, oh, you're right. I don't have enough information to clarify, hey, we're not really moving, or yes, we're just stuck right now.
Oh, okay, okay. No, that's it. Well, all right. So it sounds like one of you were being really listening to each other. Um, so so not enough information, but then you both agreed also that once the white lights came in, that was enough information. Am I understanding that correctly? That once the white lights came in, that was enough information, or still not enough? I don't remember what you said.
That once the white lights came, that yeah, that was simply enough information for us to know that yeah, we are moving.
Okay, that you are moving. And so, okay, so to everybody so far, the white lights are making a difference in these answers. It sounds, I mean, not 100%, but it sounds like the white lights make a difference to people. Go back to what, comparing to group one, when I've already forgotten, wait, sorry. Oh, yeah, when Emanuela in group one, I think she said that the only thing her whole group agreed on was that the white lights are not getting closer to you. Did you also come? What did you guys say about that one of like whether the white light? Wait, so you said once you saw the white lights, then you said yes, we are moving. But what did you answer to, if you remember or if you know, whether the white lights are getting closer to you? Did you say yes or no to that?
Um, Repeat the question one more time.
I think. Well, I
Uh,
might have. Oh,
that we were not moving towards the lights.
not moving toward. Oh, so yeah. Oh. So you guys, even with the white, once the white lights came in, there was enough information to answer, but your answer is still we're not moving. Is that? Am I? Do I have that correct? Like, like, did you're saying you're not moving closer to the white lights? Is that right?
So yeah, we're not.
Are you sure? Wait, okay. Do you want to add to? Are you sure? Am I confusing you?
No, sorry. It's just since it was just my colleague and I, we didn't get to we did answer most of the generic questions, but when it came to that specific question, I guess we just
run out of time.
No, no, it's fine. That's
So I'm
fine.
like
Well,
texting him right now, like, oh, do we agree or no?
great. Okay, okay, that's funny. No, right. And this is true for everybody. Like, no, nobody was expected to get to all the questions in the breakout room. So now I'm just starting to answer. I mean, I'm starting to ask certain questions that you might not even have talked about, but I'm just trying to, but they're coming up in my mind because because like the first group it came up. So yeah, no, there's no, you're giving a great report. It's totally, and that's funny if you're texting in the background. I mean, I love that about Zoom. Okay. But all right, no, I think, but am I right that basically you and your partner, and I'll move on in a second. I'll take you off the hot seat, but you and your partner basically said, like we don't have enough information. We don't have enough information for a while. Then we got information from the white lights. We did get information from the white lights, but we still basically say with this information, we're not moving. I mean, is that correct, or am I making that up?
That's correct.
Okay, awesome. All right, I love. Okay, awesome. Okay, great job. So thank you very much, Emanuela. Thank you very much, Karen. Again, we're just sharing and caring here. I promise you all this is going to lead to a conclusion, but I want to get it out from you guys, not just from me. So thank you for and we're not going to get to the whole grand conclusion at the end of today. Right now, we're just like putting everything on the table. So the next, can I have from group? I think that was group 3, actually, right? So can I circle back to group 2 now? Breakout room 2. Does somebody want to step up for breakout room 2? What happened in breakout room 2? This is getting awkward. All right, someone wants to represent break 2. Wait, who is? Well, at some point, we're going to want to know something for breakout room 2. I'm a little slightly concerned, or maybe someone in break. Here's a request. I'm going to move on to breakout room 4 right now. I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot or embarrass anybody, but I do want to have all people represented. So somebody from breakout room 2, put something in the direct chat to me, just to me, like explaining like what's going on, or you all got a cup of coffee or like whatever. But someone, and you'll get points for it, but someone in breakout 2 should in direct chat give me a sense of what's going on. But that was 1, 2, 3. So breakout room 4. Oh, is that the issue? Yeah. I'm sorry. It's okay if you didn't get to everything. I just want to hear something. I mean, I have a kind of a structure here of like what I'm looking for, but no, just like anything. If you, and especially, I'll be honest. I'll be to everybody. If Look, if your concern in a breakout room was that you started and then you got into something and you all got into it and like disagreed or and like debated and then got stuck on something early on and like you just kept if I'm almost, I don't know if this is the case. This is like a fantasy of mine though. If any of the groups are worried because they didn't get to everything because they got so stuck on one thing, that's actually delightful to me. That's terrific, especially if it means people like cared about one thing and they got obsessed or something. That would be great. So if there's a group that got but even if it's not that, even if just like for whatever reason you just have something to say, just say the something that you have to say. You don't worry about getting to everything. No, there's a lot. Okay. It's okay if you didn't get to all the questions. Like really, really. If you got to any questions, if you then report on the questions you got to, and especially if it became a big debate or something, I'd love to hear about that. But either way, I'm still going to give you time to work this out. Like if you guys are texting each other or whatever, I'll come back to you, but I'd like to hear something. It's fine if it's not everything. Let me go now for the moment, I'll go to breakout room 4, I think it is. Can we hear from breakout room 4?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Awesome. Genesis. Cool.
Okay, so we didn't go over like exactly all the questions. We were mostly just speaking like, are we actually in motion?
Fine.
There was only 3 of us, so one of us said no, the other of us said yes, and one of us said that there was not enough information.
Great.
What we thought was, one had no information, couldn't choose between yes or no in the beginning. For the one that said no, it wasn't that he was more thinking that the train is in motion, but we physically as the person are not in person and not moving.
Oh, that's interesting. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
I thought I took it as just like, oh, if the train's moving, then we're moving as well. That's how I took it. After our discussion, he still kept with his no. I understood his point. I can agree to it to an extent, but it's just how we viewed the question differently. I still said yes. The one that said that there wasn't enough information, he changed it to yes because of the lights again.
Oh.
That my argument, he agreed with my argument that yes, we're not feeling any instability, but we see the lights moving at a constant speed. So I thought that the train should be moving at a constant speed with no other forces acting on it, making it seem like stable.
Oh, oh. Very okay. Wait, am I interrupting you or are you
No, no.
okay. That's great. First of all, thank you for stepping up. That's totally awesome. Now I've almost there was like at least there was at least two, I think three specific things in there that I think are really interesting that I wanted to get to, but I might have just forgot. All right. The first thing that you said, well, once again, just notice everybody, there is a theme here that it seems like some kind of difference does get made when the white lights come in. Like, I don't know exactly what the difference is or what, but it sounds like answers shifted somewhat once the white lights were in. But the first thing you said, oh my God, wait, I'm going to forget now. When I overreacted, I reacted and I almost interrupted you. The first, you might remember, can you remind me, the first big thing you said that I reacted, was, um, oh, I think was this it? That
But the train was moving, but the body is not moving.
Yeah.
right. Well said. Thank you, Alfred. Yes, yes, exactly. That is interesting in itself for sure. Like it sort of gets into it shows everybody like, hang on, what do you even mean by what does Yaverbaum even mean by you? Like, right, like if you're in the train and the train I mean, it's hard enough to know whether the train is moving, but even if you say the train is moving, then some of you are saying, well, right, even if the train is going from 14th Street to 59th Street, but I'm in the train, like maybe the train is carrying me, but I'm not moving in the train. I mean, that's what people are saying. So you're sort of suggesting the question is hard to interpret, even if you do have tons of facts. Like even when a train definitively is moving, are we really saying that we're moving? I mean, if we're just sitting there in the train, that's a really good point. And certainly, like our experiences in airplanes strongly emphasize that point because we believe in airplanes going like 500 miles an hour from New York to Chicago or whatever, but we're sitting there in the airplane, like just chilling, drinking, eating peanuts, watching a movie or whatever, and totally experiencing it as though we were just on the ground in a movie theater or in a hotel room. So there's something weird here about like, what do I even mean by moving? Good point. Very good point. Then there was another thing I reacted to. So that's important to bear in mind. And I'm going to say more about that probably Wednesday. And again, I promise you all, this is physics. Like, obviously, a lot of times physics looks like math, but we express physics in math, but the fundamental questions of physics first exist in our mind conceptually. What we're in the stage of the year right now where we're trying to define our terms. We're trying to define average velocity, average speed, average acceleration. But right now this is in the spirit of all that. We're pausing to realize, like, even before we define, well, let me back up. Remember how I said to you guys last week that equations are just symbolic expressions of definitions and discoveries that we hold in our mind in English or in Chinese or in Spanish or in Hebrew or whatever. Like we equations are just symbolic expressions of concepts that are already in our definitions that are already in our mind. Well, right now we're pausing to say, hold on, even before we get to average velocity or average acceleration or something, like what do we even mean by motion? Like when we say, are you moving? Do we mean like you or do we mean the train? Do we mean you past the train past the earth? Are we including the earth and the sun? Like, what do we even mean? And it's not philosophy class. Like, it's not just a speculative, like, like right now we're sharing our opinions. That's what we're doing it on purpose. We're sharing each other's perspectives. But if it's going to be science, it's going to be physics. At some point, we're going to have to make a decision of what we actually literally from here on in mean about motion. If someone says, are you moving? We need to be able to know, do they mean me compared to the seat, or the seat compared to the ground, or the ground compared to like the sun? Like, what are we talking about here? So these are great. Oh, good. All right. So since time is running out, sorry. So yes, I'm glad that we're getting this out. I just promised you it's not just meant to be an empty discussion. We're going to get a conclusion from it. There was one other thing I wanted to say about that group, but someone's reminding me very politely in the direct chat. That we're running out of time. Yes, anybody who doesn't go today will get to report on Wednesday. Yes, direct chat person. Good point. Thank you. And yes, thank you for circling the loop, closing the loop in direct chat. But so I'll move on for a minute because we will get to, but let me move on to, does it seems like group 2 maybe is prepared to report now? Is breakout 2 room? It'll be our last one for today, and then we'll continue this on Wednesday. But did breakout 2 want to go today or wait till Wednesday?
We could go today.
Oh, great. Thank you, Samantha. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay.
So like the main thing that we saw is that like for part 1, we had like more split answers. But then in like part 2, we more like agreed upon like the answers more. Like an example is that for 1B, we were all split. Like 2 of us had like both yes and no, gave our reasons, and then one person said like yeah, I'm sorry, they said no, and then another person put neither yes or no. So like that kind of followed along for the rest of the answers in one. But then once we found out that the like lights were like moving in a sense, that's when we like all like agreed upon like, oh yeah, we're moving and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, great. That's very clear. Okay. So, and I'm watching the clock. I know we have 2 minutes. That's very clear. Thank you. And thank you for stepping up after I made it super awkward. No, seriously, thank you for stepping up. So once the white lights came in, you're saying once the white lights came in, then you kind of all converged on more agreement that, okay, now it seems like we're moving. I mean, is that a fair summary of the last part of what you said?
Yeah.
Awesome. And I appreciate that. And quick question, not to put you on the spot, but was it big? Like, was it intense debate in the, like, did people, I mean, no one was getting upset or anything like that, right? Or like, were there actually, I'll leave that alone. But you did have debates in your room, it sounds like people did disagree and discuss. Is that right, Samantha?
I'm sorry, it kept like the audio kept cutting out, so I couldn't really hear you.
All right. So yeah, and I know we only have 1 minute. So basically I'm asking, it sounds like even though you had a lot of agreement, once the white lights came in, you said, yeah, we're moving. But until that time, was there like, did people like actually disagree with each other? Like not just like say, I have a different answer, but kind of argue with each other a little bit? Is that what happened in your group about until the white lights came in? All right, it's okay. The question's not making a lot of sense anyway. I see we only have 1 minute, so this is great. I really appreciate it. I think 3 or possibly 4 groups have already gone. There's 2 more. Yes. So we're going to continue this Wednesday, and then I'm going to give you resolution. I'll tell you why we're doing this. Oh, okay. Just so you know where the ship is heading. Now it's 1:30. What's written on the board here is it? Okay. No, that's cool. Thank you. I know it's the Wi-Fi, or I know it's the audio. That's okay. We're about to wrap up. We're going to pick up from here on Wednesday. I'll probably put the same board up again. What's in red is the resolution of all this. Like there is ultimately an answer to how to think about motion in a train. And the answer is ultimately called Galileo's principle of relativity. And that's what the red GPR stands for. Galileo's principle of relativity. And that's a real physics, believe me. So that's where this, okay, yeah, so we have to go. So it's 1:30. So that's where the ship is heading for Wednesday. But we'll just keep doing this. So the groups, please be ready, if you didn't already, to report on Wednesday. Okay, have a great day. Yes, have a great day. I'm done, but I'm standing here for I'm here if there's any questions or anything. I'm just turning off the, sorry. Yeah, have a great day.